నమస్తే రామాయణులు సార్. గుడ్ మార్నింగ్
సార్. బ్రహ్మారెడ్డి గారు నమస్కారం సార్. ఆఫ్టర్ మెనీ డేస్.
నమస్తే, గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్. మీకు మా గుడ్ మార్నింగ్.
మీ గుడ్ మార్నింగ్. అవును,
7:20.
మాకు ఇక్కడ 5 minutes to 6 సార్.
అవునవును. మీకు
నమస్కారం సార్.
సాయేష్
జయశంకర్
గారు
గారు
నమస్తే
నమస్కారం.
సార్.
నమస్తే అండి. ఎప్పుడు వస్తున్నారు ఇండియా బ్రహ్మారెడ్డి గారు?
November 5th సార్.
ఓకే, రైట్. వెల్కమ్, అడ్వాన్స్ వెల్కమ్ టు యూ. తొందరగా రండి.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్. థ్యాంక్ యూ. Eight 97213646948. Eight. నమస్తే కొండల గారు.
నమస్కారం అండి.
బాగున్నారా?
బాగున్నారండి.
Sir, we'll wait for 5 minutes, sir. We are waiting for Venkat Subbiah garu to join online.
అలాగే
We'll wait for 5 minutes.
బాగున్నారండి సీతారాం బాబు గారు?
బాగున్నాం సార్. కొండలవారు మీరు బాగున్నారా?
బాగున్నారు.
సార్
ఇది అప్లోడ్ చేయాలంటే అట్లా అంటే ఇక్కడ ఉంది.
షేర్ స్క్రీన్
ఇక్కడ
అవును, అదే షేర్ స్క్రీన్. ఇక్కడికి వెళ్ళండి దీనికి.
రమేష్ గారు, మర్రి రమేష్ గారు,
హలో
రమేష్
Hello?
గారు, గుడ్ మార్నింగ్.
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ సార్. అవర్ యూ సార్?
ఫైన్ ఫైన్, మీరు ఎలా ఉన్నారు?
ఫైన్ సార్. వెరీ హ్యాపీ టు సీ యూ ఇన్ ద జూమ్ నౌ.
థ్యాంక్ యూ.
సార్ ఫంక్షన్ బాగా అయిందంట మొన్న.
అవును, వచ్చారు మొన్న కీర్తి అని రాకేష్.
అవునవును సార్, అవునవును. కంగ్రాచులేషన్, చాలా గ్రాండ్ గా అయింది అని చెప్పారు. మంచిగా చాలా వెల్ ప్లాన్డ్.
బ్రహ్మారెడ్డి గారు,
చెప్పండి సార్.
వెంకట్ సుబ్బయ్య గారికి ఏదో సిగ్నల్స్ లేవుట సార్. మీకు రత్నం గారు పంపించారు. కెన్ యూ ప్లీజ్ ప్రిసైడ్ ఓవర్ దిస్ టుడేస్ ఈవెంట్ సార్? మీకు పంపించారు, మీరు మెసేజ్ పంపించారు.
ఒక్క నిమిషం చూస్తాను.
చూడండి సార్.
అది కాదండి, లాస్ట్ టైం కూడా నేను ఒకటి మిస్ అయ్యాను వెబినార్. కనీసము రాత్రి ఎప్పుడో పోస్ట్ చేశారు, కనీసం ఫోన్ చేసి చెప్పాలి కదా, రాత్రి అంతా చూసుకోం కదా మేము. అతను ఏం చేస్తున్నాడండి, ఆ తరుణ్ అనే అతను? ఎక్కడ పోస్ట్ చేశారు సార్?
సార్
ఏం రాలేదు.
సార్ ఏ సెల్ కి చేశారు సార్?
రాలేదు.
సార్ ఇప్పుడు మీ వాట్సాప్ ఒకసారి చెక్ చేసుకోరా సార్?
వీడియో ఎక్కడ వస్తుంది?
స్టక్ అయింది నెట్ లేక.
నెట్ లేదా?
ఎక్కడ నాకు పంపించలేదు కదండి.
వాట్సాప్ లో పంపించాను సార్.
ఏది, ఏ నంబర్ కి పంపించారు? ఇప్పుడు వచ్చింది.
77 కదా.
ఇప్పుడు వచ్చింది సార్. 7
ఓకే సార్ రైట్. యా, కమ్యూనికేషన్. ఓకే సార్.
లేదు, 37 ఇప్పుడు పంపారు, అప్పుడు పంపలేదు.
సార్ బ్రహ్మారెడ్డి గారు స్టార్ట్ చేద్దామా, లేకపోతే ఒక 5 minutes వెయిట్ చేద్దామా?
ఏమండి?
స్టార్ట్ చేయమంటారా?
చేయండి.
సార్, good evening to all the life members, the past chairman, immediate past chairman Brahmareddy garu, past chairman council member Dr. I. Satyanarayana Raju garu, convener for the event, engineer Murray Ramesh garu, and we have the guest speaker today for the theme engaging youth to create a better urban future. The topic is the earth belongs to all human beings as much as to humans. We are G. Kondalrao garu for having accepted to be the keynote speaker today. I also thank Krishnamacharya garu, Dayakarachari garu, Vijay Shekhar garu, Narmada garu, Prabhakar garu, and Srinivasa garu for having come to this Zoom meeting. And today is the World Habitat Day. I would request Brahmareddy garu, the immediate past chairman, to preside over the today's World Habitat Day, sir, please.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Sitaram garu. Today is 7th October. We are celebrating World Habitat Day, and it's a great privilege for me to do this welcome address and preside the today's webinar. And respected keynote speaker, Engineer G. Kondalrao garu, FIE, Chief Engineer, Retired, Public Health Department, Government of Telangana, and Dr. K. Sitaram Babu, FIE, Honorary Secretary, Telangana State Center, Engineer Murray Ramesh garu, FIE, Joint Honorary Secretary of Telangana State Center, and convener of this event, and Dr. I.S.N. Raju garu, council member, other past chairmen, past presidents, council members of IEI, past honorary secretaries, members of Telangana State Center Committee, and corporate members of IEI, and distinguished guests, representatives of media, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I feel it is a great privilege and honor to be amidst this august gathering and extend a warm and hearty welcome to the chief guest and the keynote speaker of today and all of you to World Habitat Day. Today, I am very happy to be associated with this memorable event, though I am away Sapta Samudral Avataluన్నా కూడా I am very, very happy to attend this program. And World Habitat Day is held on the first Monday of October. And on World Habitat Day, we reaffirm the basic right of shelter and reflect on the transformation of urban environments. So this year's theme highlights the vital role of young people in creating a better urban future. By 2030, 60% of urban residents will be able under the age of 18. As the cities continue to grow, so does the opportunity to tap into the energy of young people to turn the urban challenges to opportunities. In fact, even today in our country, in India, the youth is more than the 65% of today's population, and most of them are migrating to the urban areas, which also needs and which has to be looked into this habitat, because the environment is the one which is going to affect. And I know the present engineer Kondal Rao garu is expert in environmental. He will focus and throw some enlightenment on environmental issues of the urban conglomerations. And last month's Summit of the Future made clear young people are crucial to building a more equitable and sustainable future. Making the most of that potential requires investing in education, expanding digital skills, fostering entrepreneurship, and promoting youth-led initiatives on climate action, affordable housing, and durable mobility. And all of these and more is vital to shaping vibrant, inclusive, and resilient and digital cities and achieving the sustainable development goals. As we celebrate World Habitat Day, let us support youth everywhere, including young people in decision making, and build cities where people of all ages can thrive for the growth. And today, Telangana State Center has arranged World Habitat Day on engaging youth to create a better urban future. Since you are anxiously awaiting to hear the talk from our eminent speaker, I am limiting myself at this place and hope that you will really enjoy his talk, and especially he being a environmental expert. On behalf of the Telangana State Center of IEI and on my own behalf, I once again extend a hearty welcome to the keynote speaker, Engineer G. Kondal Rao, FIE, Chief Engineer, Retired, Public Health Department, and all of you to this important event. And thanks one and all. I think all those who joined after my welcome started, also I welcome them to this webinar. And now I hand over to the Engineer Mari Ramesh Garu, convener of this event, to kindly to give your remarks and also welcome the today's keynote speaker and chief guest, Engineer G. Kondal Rao Garu. Over to Mari Ramesh Garu.
Thank you, sir. At the outset, I extend my sincere thanks to our immediate past chairman, Sri Brahma Reddy Garu, for giving me this opportunity to present the brief profile of Engineer J. Kondal Rao Garu, FIE. And also I extend my thanks to our chairman, Venkat Subbaya Garu, and secretary, K. Sitaram Babu Garu, and other my colleagues, and all corporate members who are present in this webinar. So now I'd like to present, it's pleasure for me to present the profile of Engineer G. Kondal Rao Garu. Engineer G. Kondal Rao Garu was born on 27/12/1957 in Kumbam village in Prakasham district, Andhra Pradesh. He obtained his BTech Civil from JNTU Kakinada and ME Civil Structural Engineering from Osmania University, PG Diploma in Engineering Management and PG Diploma in Environment Management from University of Hyderabad. He is a member of the Institution of Engineers India, Indian Waterworks Association, and is a Chartered Engineer India. He worked in Irrigation Department, Government of Andhra Pradesh for 8 years as Assistant Executive Engineer. he was selected as Deputy Executive Engineer in Public Health and Municipal Engineering Department, Andhra Pradesh, and worked for 30 years up to 2017, and later has been offering his services as a freelancer. As Chief Engineer, Vijayawada Municipal Corporation, he was instrumental in commissioning water and wastewater treatment plants, initiating energy efficiency measures and water safety plan, and in improving operation and maintenance of water and sanitation facilities. He also contributed to engineering reforms like energy studies and water and sanitation studies under AP Urban Services for the Poor, and in Madhya Pradesh, Urban Services for the Poor, both DFID UK projects. He also worked closely with poor communities in the Mission of Elimination of Poverty in Municipal Areas, MEPMA, Andhra Pradesh. As Chief Engineer in Public Health and Municipal Engineering Department, he was instrumental in procuring of water and sanitation projects under Amrit program and monitored Smart Cities Mission, both of Government of India projects in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, and was involved in formulation of strategies for urban mission and infrastructure development in Andhra Pradesh. He has also published 4 papers in national and international journals and conferences. He is presently a freelancer and a guest faculty in the Engineering Staff College of India, SK, Andhra Pradesh Human Resources Development Institute, Bapatla, and in few engineering colleges. His passions are Sustainable Development Goal, STD-6 and STG-14, connected with clean water and sanitation and climate action, water and energy conservation, education, health, yoga, singing, and poetry. He is also associated with Arts Trust, working towards achieving the MDGs of the United Nations, and is also associated with KIDS, founded by alumni of JNTU Kakinada, and Swapnika Rekha, a health NGO working to create awareness on cancer and nutrition. So this is all about our Sri Engineer G. Kondala Garu. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Chairman, sir.
I request today's keynote speaker to proceed with this topic.
Kalyani. Sorry. Entire screen.
చెప్పండి.
ఇదేనా?
ఎంటైర్ స్క్రీన్.
ఇక్కడ నొక్కాలా? ఓకే.
ఇప్పుడు అడగండి ఒకసారి, మీకు కనిపిస్తుంది.
నమస్కారం బ్రహ్మారెడ్డి గారు, మర్రి రమేష్ గారు, సీతారాం బాబు గారు, డాక్టర్ ఐఎస్ఎన్ రాజు గారు, and other dignitaries, all other dignitaries, my pranams to you. So I hope the screen is visible.
Yeah, it is visible. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So welcome to a presentation on the earth. The earth belongs to all living beings. That is the theme for today's presentation, my dear brothers and sisters. So the World Habitat Day has given the theme for 2024 as engaging youth to create a better urban future. So I welcome you to for this presentation. So this the photograph on the screen represents the biodiversity, how the human habitat is associated with the other habitat, other living creatures on the earth. So human being is not alone in this universe. So he is only a part of the whole gamut of millions and billions of other living beings. So just an overview of the presentation. We'll discuss regarding the World Habitat Day and the theme, that is urban youth for better India. And the earth is for all species, not only for humans. That is the present the theme of the present presentation. Biodiversity and ecological balance, case studies, some case studies, and challenges in engaging urban youth in biodiversity conservation and a way forward. So this is the photograph represents the biodiversity in terms of plant biodiversity and animal biodiversity and all other biome, that is the water, earth, soil, air, etc. That's a combination. So the World Habitat Day, I wish all the dignitaries a happy World Habitat Day on this auspicious occasion. And the idea or the aim of the World Habitat Day is to work towards the right of everybody, every living being, to have adequate shelter. So that is the idea, not only to human beings, but all living beings. So the theme is, as we have discussed, it is engaging youth to create a better urban future. That is the theme of the 2024 World Habitat Day. So if we can see the bottom photograph, so that shows the combination of various players, particularly the young people and other players. For example, we are also a part of nature. We are also a part of biodiversity, an ecosystem. And we have got other ecosystems also along with us, like the plant ecosystem or the animal ecosystem. Number of ecosystems, millions of ecosystems are there. It may be on the earth, that is the terrestrial ecosystem, on the soil, or even in the air, and also underwater. So the idea is, as Chief Seattle, he is a very well-known environmentalist. He said, the earth does not belong to man. Man belongs to the earth. So man should not think that earth is his property, but the earth, the man is the property of the earth, or he belongs to the earth. That is the the idea, the insight he has given. So the interconnectedness of all living beings. So no one is separate or isolated. So he has to live as an interconnected being along with other human beings as well as all other living beings, because all life is interconnected. That's what the Buddha also says. All life is connected. All life is kin. Importance of preserving biodiversity. So in course of time, we'll discuss regarding the importance of preserving biodiversity, because unless we preserve the biodiversity, there is no life for the human being, because all life is connected. If we disturb the biodiversity and the habitat of the other living beings, then we will also be affected, because the food chain is food is a chain. So each living being depends on the other living beings for food. Ultimately, human being also depends on the other living beings for food and water, etc. So the urban design. So urban design is the concept of spacing, allocating spaces, different spaces in the urban areas, that is cities or towns, for various purposes. For example, residential, commercial, or industrial, or for biodiversity, or for lakes and water bodies, or for parks and zoos, etc., playgrounds. So this is what the urban design discusses and works on. So that urban design has to take the human beings' needs as well as the other ecological needs. That means the biodiversity of the plant ecosystem and the animal ecosystem needs also it has to consider while designing for the urban areas. So now that we have discussed regarding the introduction, now we will discuss regarding the concept of the earth as a shared resource. So as we see, for example, you please see the right side top photograph. So the earth supports the biodiversity in terms of the soil, that is biome, the soil, the water, the air, etc., and also the animals, the forests. So these are all support the biodiversity. Even human beings or other living beings, the bacteria and viruses, etc., also play their own part in supplying the biodiversity to the earth. So, and the earth in itself support the biodiversity. So this is how it works. So we can see energy resources, atmospheric resources, like your water, air, or etc. Ores, iron ores, or whatever mines and minerals. Biological resources, that is bacteria, viruses, the plants and animals, and fuel resources, just like your coal, iron ore, or other ores, etc. Forest resources, the plants, the trees, different types of trees, and the whatever things are available. For example, the trees also control the soil erosion, for example, and they are a source of water, I mean rain, because they they result in evapotranspiration, where the clouds are formed, and due to the cold air, the clouds will be condensed and water will fall down, that is rain will fall down. In that way, the forests or the trees will result or will attract the rain from the clouds. So it will flow from the forest as small streams in the beginning, and it flows as a bigger streams and rivers, etc. So the water is the source of food, that is crops. So crops are the source of food, not only for human beings but all the other living beings. Is that way the biodiversity works. So urban spaces and interdependence. So for example, you see the left side photograph. It is the nature reserves, how they are connected in Singapore. So they have got a lot of number of bioreserves, nature reserves, and they have made a corridors. They have made corridors, the nature corridors. So in that way, they are giving maximum importance to environmental conservation and biodiversity conservation. And also, they have also made reservoirs, that is water bed like thing, something like a corridor, and at different places water reservoirs, and connected them. So actually, earlier they were importing water from Malaysia. So later they have stopped importing, and they have developed their own water reserves. In that way, they give maximum importance to first priority to environment, and then development follows. So any project will be screened for environmental conservation, protection, and biodiversity conservation first. And if it passes only, then it will be given clearance. So what are the challenges then we are facing in this connection? So one is the habitat destruction. Due to the developmental paradigm, we are encountering habitat destruction in terms of destruction of forests, destruction of wildlife, and mining, etc. They are also leading to that one. And in that process, we are polluting the soil, polluting the air, polluting the water, etc. And we are subjected to biodiversity loss in terms of plant biodiversity, animal biodiversity, loss of habitat for plants, animals, as well as to human beings also. And urbanization is also it is compounding the problem of habitat loss. So now we will discuss regarding the human impact on the biodiversity. For example, if you see on the top right hand side photograph picture, you'll see habitat loss. What will the habitat loss lead to? So it will lead to loss of biodiversity. It will lead to loss of food chain. It will lead to loss of plants, loss of animals, and also as the food chain is as the water source is disturbed, naturally food chain will food availability will be affected, and the who will be the final I mean who will be the losers? The human beings as well as other living beings also. If the biodiversity is wonderful, then this will be the all greenery, plant and animal biodiversity, all food and water, etc. will be available. And then to minimize the biodiversity loss and habitat loss, we need to go for renewable energy in terms of solar energy or wind energy or water energy, hydro energy, etc. So if you see, urbanization is also leading to habitat destruction. For example, if you see the bottom right hand corner, the ecosystems are the various natural the biodiversity. For example, plants or particularly plants. see what they are contributing to. Even animals are also an inseparable part of the nature. So what they are contributing to, they will contribute ecosystem services, different ecosystem services. For example, they will be contributing to supporting the biodiversity and supporting the various things which are required for human beings and other living beings. For example, they will be conducting the photosynthesis of the plants. They will be providing habitat to the wild animals, etc., and they will be contributing to biodiversity, and they will be contributing to soil formation, topsoil formation, and soil erosion, prevention of soil erosion, and they will also be contributing to aesthetics. So like that, similarly, they will be provisioning food, water, soil for fertility, and all other raw materials for our what are needed for our construction or for firewood, etc. And they will also be regulating the natural phenomena like floods and also flood control. Similarly, because by how they control the floods, because the plants will enable infiltration into the ground. Whatever water rain comes, the maximum of it will be infiltrated into the ground, percolating into the ground. Thereby, surface flow will be minimized. So in that way, they will be controlling the floods, and they will also control the soil erosion. They will also control the climate changes, etc. And they will also be controlling regulating the cleaning water. They will be cleaning the water and air, and they will also be a source of pollination, enabling pollination and growth of plantation, and thereby in an indirect way the animals, etc., or birds, etc. And they will also be contributing to the educational purposes, and they will also be contributing the recreation purposes also. And a number of people have become spiritual due to the nature around them. So if you see the left side bottom corner, bottom reefs, a healthy coral reef will look like this, the left side. So the coral reef is an ocean ecosystem. So it is also a food web. It supports a lot of fish, etc., marine life, and it will provide for food for them. It provides shelter for them. It provides habitat for them. So due to our human activities like plastics or oil slicks, etc., or mining activities, or defiling the oceans, etc., these coral reefs, for example, in the Australian seas, Pacific Ocean, the coral reefs are heavily disturbed, the great coral reef. If it is damaged or destroyed, it is represented by the right side photograph. So if we consider the biodiversity and the ecological balance, and what are the urban challenges? See, we can see on the top right hand corner, the picture shows the biodiversity, and that means the habitat is intact, the habitat is not destroyed. Similarly, on the right side, due to heavy pollution and climate change, the biodiversity is affected, and the habitats are destroyed due to unbridled mining activities or quarrying activities, or due to heavy air pollution, water pollution, etc. So we have to strike a balance. So environment and development, we should not sacrifice environment for the cause of development. So both should go hand in hand. First priority, because very often any environmental degradation or destruction is irreversible. You can't reverse it, because the forests, if once destroyed, it will take thousands of years for them to regrow, even if we plant. So compensatory afforestation, it is not equal to original natural plantation, natural tree growth, or natural forests. So if you see the bottom right hand corner, Gandhiji says, the future depends on what we do today. If we destroy our forests, if we destroy our habitats, wildlife, etc., now there will be nothing else remaining tomorrow for us. So recently, we'll go now to it next time, a while later. the urban design, as we discussed, it should consider the human needs as well as the ecosystem needs and biodiversity also. And ecological balance, we have to strike an ecological balance, and habitat protection should be ensured in the urban areas. Unless we ensure the habitat, for example, we have got the Aminpur Lake. It's a big lake. It is considered as a heritage, world heritage, this thing, the lake. So now a number of human activities are destroying its biodiversity, and restricting its water spread area, etc., which is not good for the Hyderabad Vasis also. So we have to protect our habitat in urban areas also, because it is a space for a number of avian species, that is birds, etc., which are migrating from far off areas. So in that way, by protecting the biodiversity and by striking an ecological balance, we can sustain the cities. We can build sustainable cities and also ensure biodiversity. And urban development challenges, what is the thing? The human needs are becoming priority over ecosystem needs. So we should balance the ecosystem needs with the human needs also, and ensure that on a sustainable basis, the ecosystem sustain as well as the human requirements are also sustained, because that is sustainable development. And for all this thing, we need to, as the theme goes, that is 2024 World Habitat Day theme goes, we have to give the maximum importance to youth-centered activism, and we have to involve the youth, the students, the school students, the college students, etc. So we'll just open a small video now. Where which is a part of the Anantagiri forest, which is about 75 to 80 kilometers from Hyderabad, where a naval radar station is proposed, where in an area of 1200 hectares, about 1200 hectares, that is 2,900 acres. So that area has been given to the Navy for development. So the thing is, this Damagundam forest is the source of the Musi River, the EC Musi, and nearby Kagna River also. So by citing the naval this thing at the Damagundam forest, we will be disturbing the pristine forest, which is a source of river. That is the problem here. So, and you can't just even by providing compensatory afforestation in an area of 1174, 2,300 hectares, that is about 4,000, 5,400 acres. They have proposed compensatory afforestation for 11.74 lakh this thing plants, but that does not compensate actually, because it will take a lot of years, number of years for them to grow, because these the existing this thing is vegetation is for thousands of years. It has evolved over thousands of years, or at least hundreds of years, whereas this will take a number of years, and that is not equal to natural forests. It is a human grown forest, plantation. So the difference between compensatory afforestation and natural forests. So here the Andhra Mahila Sabha students, about 40 numbers, have come for a study visit here. So biodiversity, just we will discuss what is biodiversity. We have already discussed to some extent. So if you see the picture, you will see various types of different life forms. For example, animals, birds, the fish, etc., aquatic animals. That is aquatic ecosystem and terrestrial ecosystem, and also the natural physical features like your mountains, rivers, etc., etc. So biodiversity indicates a wide variety of life on Earth, different ecosystems. human ecosystems, plant ecosystems, the other the animal ecosystem, and a rich biodiversity indicates a very healthy ecosystem. So, and biodiversity is important. Why? It provides food not only for human beings but also for all other living beings, and it provides water, as it is the basis of the trees or forests provide the source of water by attracting rain and rivers, etc. And they provide water security, and they also regulate the climate in terms of they regulate the temperature, and they also clean up the air, and they also provide medicinal plants, herbal plants for medicinal purposes. So in that way, and they are actually the source of any new medicine that is invented. So now we'll discuss the ecological balance, the concept of ecological balance. If you can see how we can ensure or achieve ecological balance. On the one hand, we have got the human beings, and on the other hand, you have got the other living beings, that is plant ecosystem and the animal ecosystem. There are millions of ecosystems, even under plants and also under animals. So life is such a beautiful thing. Even viruses, bacteria, all those things are different ecosystems. So an ecosystem, suppose for example, human ecosystem, it's a community of living organisms, for example, human beings. Similarly, plants, a particular plant ecosystem, or a particular, a forest ecosystem, or a particular animal ecosystem, or birds, like that. So the physical environment also, like sunlight, water, temperature, oxygen, soil, air, etc. So all the ecosystems will be under balance. Even the human ecosystem, the plant ecosystem, different plants ecosystems, and the different animal ecosystems, all will be under a dynamic equilibrium. Then only the life will go forward and life will be sustainable. If we disturb one ecosystem, it will have impact over the other ecosystems, because the food web is a very complicated web. Each will depend on the other. Each animal will depend on the other, and on animals, man also depends finally. So now, what is our challenge? How to engage the youth for a better urban future? If you see the top right hand corner, so there, in the African continent, people are how much they are environment conscious. So they make it a cultural events. So the growing population of young people in the cities, they have realized, and they are now realizing the importance of ecosystem services and ecological balance and biodiversity conservation and habitat conservation and protection. Not only in their original habitat, but even in the cities also. That's why nowadays we have got the concept of urban forests. The forest people will be knowing urban forests. Sometimes in some of the cities, even in for example, Bhubaneswar and other cities in Chhattisgarh also, Raipur, etc. They are trying to replicate urban forests, the natural forest ecosystem. So naturally they have got a innovative mindset and the ability to adapt and analyze various new technologies and accept whatever technology is appropriate with a responsibility, because they are responsible. They feel more responsible towards the future, because there are a number of ecosystem groups or a number of climate groups, which are, for example, to Damagundam Reserve Forest visit, actually a number of environmental groups have also come, including Jana Vignan Vedika and other groups, local groups also, local Pudur groups from Hyderabad also. Role of youth in policy change. Actually, if we involve the youth in the ecosystem services or biodiversity conservation, habitat conservation, naturally their ability to frame policies or participate in policies and to suggest to the government for what are the policy changes or policy adjustments which are required for sustainable development. So they can actually suggest, and they can be a change makers actually. So if you see the bottom right hand corner photograph, the spotlight is on the youth and employment, as this year's theme highlights. So in a number of projects, even the World Bank, etc., the DFID, Department for International Development of the United Kingdom, also are highlighting the importance of engagement of youth and for providing livelihoods also in the ecosystem services, through ecosystem services. So there are some case studies. So I have only selected a few case studies. One is the youth-led urban farming in Nairobi, Kenya. So you can see how they are doing urban farming in Nairobi, Kenya. So they have formed a youth group like Youth Climate Action Group, and they are leading, the youth are leading the urban farming, and they are restoring the green spaces and thereby contributing to food security. And urban gardens are also being improved through improvement in biodiversity. And naturally, when biodiversity improves, the carbon footprint also will be reduced, and the youth also will be engaged. In that way, we'll also be providing not only the education and knowledge to them and involvement, but also contributing to livelihoods for the youth, because employment is also an important aspect of biodiversity conservation, etc. So how youth can create solutions? So by adopting small community-driven initiatives, they can contribute to very ingenious and innovative solutions for the urban areas. So there is another case study in Germany, that Berlin in Germany, urban wildlife protection. So if you can see if you see the top right-hand corner of this thing, you can see the various ecosystems, the plant ecosystem, the animal ecosystems, because there will be higher animals and the lower animals. So each will be contributing to the food web of other animals or other human beings also. So in that way, all food web is connected. So we have to preserve the wildlife for at least for our own sake, for our own selfish sake. We have to preserve the biodiversity and the wildlife also. We have to conserve. So if you see the bottom this thing, how the forests are being raised, different types of forests, even in urban areas also. There may be parks, there may be rain gardens, there may be small, what we call urban forests, etc. There may be zoos, like that. Different types of forest ecosystems or plant ecosystems can be raised, and thereby you will also be preserving the wildlife also. So the Berlin youth, what they did, they have come forward for protecting the urban wildlife corridors, just like what we have seen in Singapore. That is the forest corridors. Naturally, forest corridors will be also home to wildlife also. That's why we can say wildlife corridors. So these youth activists have campaigned to ensure thriving of wildlife. So not only living of the wildlife, but thriving. They have to grow in their populations. And naturally, the ecosystems, different ecosystems will balance each other dynamically. So to control the populations. So it has the interventions by these young people has contributing to reduced human wildlife conflict and preservation of urban biodiversity. And they have also shown how small urban planning interventions can balance human and non-human needs. So that is important. So not only you have to balance the human needs, but non-human needs. That means non-human needs means what? For the plants as well as the animals, and also for the biome. That is the earth, the soil, the water, the air, etc., the oceans, etc. So the other case study is the Mumbai mangrove conservation within our India. So in Mumbai, the youth have driven a mangrove restoration in Mumbai. So mangroves are coastal ecosystems mainly, and they are very rich and specific terrestrial and aquatic ecosystems. So they protect the youth driven efforts have tried to protect the coastal ecosystems from encroachment from human beings. So this is the problem. So we are encroaching into the nature. Nature is not encroaching us, but we are encroaching into the nature, and we are calling the animals are coming into the human habitated areas. So who is at fault? That we can discuss. So local youth groups have collaborated with the environmental entities, such as NGOs, etc., and environmental action groups to preserve the mangroves, so wetlands, etc., and preservation of biodiversity and protection from flooding. Naturally, when you protect the wetlands and protect the mangroves, you are protecting the coastal communities from severe storms, severe cyclones, etc., and severe flooding also, and severe winds also. And you are integrating environmental conservation into urban planning to protect the natural habitats. So this is very important. Even from the urban planning point of view, we have to involve the planners and engineers by integrating the environmental conservation concepts into their curriculum and into their way of life or way of professional life. So another case study is there. So,
Sir, Kondalrao garu, another 5 to 10 minutes, sir.
yes, we will complete. So,
Okay.
indigenous youth and sustainable cities in Canada. So, this is another initiative in Canada. So, what they have done, if you see the top right hand corner, this thing photograph, you can see how the people, the youth and other people are involving themselves in preserving the cities and in making them sustainable. Well, how can they make them sustainable? By promoting the biodiversity in terms of animal biodiversity and plant biodiversity also, and even the biome, that is the soil, by protecting soil, water, air, oceans, rivers, etc. So what they have done, the indigenous youth are associated with the sustainable city plans. So they are a part of planning process for the sustainable cities. For example, you have got smart cities or water sensitive urban design or sustainable cities or resilient cities. All those things are in nomenclature which are more or less overlapping. So the indigenous youth, so that is the indigenous youth are original youth, that is Adivasis. They are interacting with the urban planners, and actually urban planners and engineers can learn from the indigenous youth a lot of things. So we think that we are great, or we are engineers, we are planners, we are so and so, but we need to learn a lot from the people, from the indigenous youth, etc., and even the doctors also, for that matter. So sustainable urban planning. So what is sustainable urban planning? So not only the urban planning should contribute to the sustainable resource use for the present generation, but it should also reserve resources for the future generations also. That is the sustainable urban planning by proper urban design, urban form, etc. So indigenous knowledge. So the youth-led team has actually obtained indigenous knowledge, and indigenous people also have contributed to the knowledge pool for the common good of the city. So in that way, they are working. So what are the challenges then in balancing the urban development and habitat preservation? Normally, if you see the right hand corner photograph or the picture, you can see the urban ecosystem services. So what are the urban ecosystem services? They are the urban green spaces and the biodiversity, the parks, the playgrounds, and the urban forests, etc., the zoos, etc. So what do they contribute? They contribute aesthetics, and they contribute they regulate the climate, and they contribute water, and they contribute the plants, etc., and they contribute to clean water, clean sanitation, clean air, and groundwater. They will also raise the groundwater table. They control, they regulate the groundwater table. All these things are ecosystem services, and they provide food and water, etc. So the common issues faced in urban expansion are habitat loss. If you are destroying the habitat of the urban, even urban people or rural people, even the rural people or forest ecosystem habitat loss also will contribute to urban habitat loss. Urban people also will be affected. Somewhere in Damagundam, if the Damagundam forest is affected, naturally the Hyderabad people, the water supply to Hyderabad people also will be affected. We are not separate. It's a continuum. We are getting the Musi River, this EC River, etc., and the Kagna River from the Anantagiri Hills and the Damagundam Hills, Damagundam River, Damagundam Forest, etc. And how to arrest pollution, how to control pollution, how to regulate the climate, etc., the air, water, noise, etc., and lack of green spaces. So the problem is due to excessive development, excessive urbanization, encroachment into the green spaces, encroachment to the water bodies. It is leading to environmental destruction and habitat loss. So these are the challenges we are facing. So what do we need for that? For controlling that, we need to involve the youth. We need to encourage the encourage the curriculum which incorporates the biodiversity and habitat preservation and environmental preservation. And we have to involve youth and train them and even learn from them many times. And they will also influence policy. We have to allow them to actually these debates, environmental debates, environmental laws, telling them regarding what are the environmental aspects, environmental impact assessment is there, the Environment Act is there. All those things we should have to discuss threadbare with them so that we'll have a sustainable environment, sustainable ecosystems, and sustainable cities and sustainable world, nation and world. So what is the role of technology and innovation? How youth can leverage technology by the cities integrating eco-friendly design. For example, if you can see, we are integrating the eco-friendly design in the city design, city urban form, urban design and urban form. Similarly, in the bottom also, the youth can be involved in using the technology, utilizing the technology for you have got satellite technology and remote sensing, big data is there, AI, artificial intelligence, machine learning is there. You can use them in ecosystems, and the social media and digital platforms also can be used for promoting the biodiversity and habitat preservation. And blockchain technologies also can also be used there, and the IoT, Internet of Things, and sensors also can be used to track the behavior of the animals, their natural behavior, and their routes, their transport routes, etc. Even for the birds, etc., how they migrate, how they they conduct themselves, how they grow, how they procreate, like that. So how to engage the youth in urban planning for all beings, for all living beings? So if you can see the bottom, the top right-hand corner photograph, you can see how the youth can be engaged. The youth can be enlivened and made participatory in the city development in a sustainable way. So we have to welcome them in the Nashville Youth Design Team soccer tournament. It's a football tournament. How we can involve them? So the nearer we are to the nature, the better and healthy and sustainable we will be. Gandhiji has also said a long time ago, almost a century ago, if you want real peace in the world, start with children. So we have to involve children more and more in our sustainability efforts. So the education on sustainability and biodiversity and participatory planning and environment involving the children, and platforms for youth. We have to create platforms for youth, how they are in order to enable them to influence policy decisions in favor of the nation, in favor of biodiversity and the environmental protection. So what are the key takeaways? Then we have to see. So if you can see the photograph, you can see the urban biodiversity. You have got the aquatic ecosystem, the animal ecosystem, and the plant ecosystem, and the human ecosystem, and the marshy lands, and the wetlands, etc. So it's a combination of different ecosystems in dynamic equilibrium. So we have to, every one of us, we have to realize that the earth belongs to all living beings, not only for human beings. The oneness of all living beings, living forms, we have to realize and actually experience it. The youth are crucial. The involvement of youth is crucial to creating a sustainable, inclusive urban environments. And youth involvement is crucial in protecting the habitats, protecting biodiversity, protecting the wetlands, protecting the animal biodiversity, protecting the water bodies, etc., protecting the animals, wildlife, for better cities and sustainable cities. And we have to incorporate all these things, the biodiversity aspects, habitat preservation aspects, environmental aspects, all these things into our school curriculum and college curriculum, right from school level, primary school level, and ensure that it is taught to the children in an experiential learning fashion, so that they actually do projects on hand on the field, so that they will actually experience the knowledge, and they will gain knowledge through experience and eco-friendliness can be inculcated in them from childhood itself. So I am thankful for you, thankful for all the great people who have contributed to the knowledge pool. And I salute to all of them, great people. And I welcome any questions in this connection. I am done, and I welcome questions.
Sir, Brahmareddy garu.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you for your, the simple word I will put is the excellent, the contents and the presentation. Of course, I also know it's very difficult to put entire thing into small, less than 40 minutes. It's a really, what a wonderful, wonderful lecture. I just put a word is a wonderful. You covered the entire, about the biodiversity, how the youth should be involved, what are the policy also, how the policy should be made, and you really described with the lot of case studies as within India as well as outside India, how it looks. And it really should be done, as you said, at the young age. And that is what in American education I found here, my grandchildren, their education is so unstressable, because in India, we don't bother about the other surroundings like our habitat, what we are doing, only study. But here I have seen they give awareness of especially the what is ecosystem and all these things in the initially up to 8th standard. After actual studies start only from 8th standard. I think we need to sometimes copy what is good in the other systems also in India, and bring, as you said, really the youth involved in some places in Bombay. It should be not in one Bombay or some coastal. It should be everywhere in every place in our India, because you also know, most of you, and we are 170 people density per 100 acres in India, where in America it is 14 people in 100 acres. So it is really as a wonderful lecture, sir. Actually, it should not be curtailed in 40 minutes. It's a 2 hours lecture. I know it's how difficult to contain the slides also. You prepared so nice and so appealing slides. As a really great appreciation from me, and as well as from the Telangana Center and all the members who are present also. I hope they all appreciate. And now I request anybody is having any question, as already said, you can put a question. Otherwise, we will proceed further.
Yes.
I want to talk some question, please.
Yeah, please.
Dr. Radhakrishna here.
Professor Ramna here. Good evening, Chairman sir. Dr.
Yeah,
Ramana.
namaste ji. Arey, you
Namaste,
joined
sir.
late, I think. I not seen
No,
you
no.
earlier.
What happened?
Small
I
question
was
only.
one more
Yeah,
Zoom
not
from
in
5 to 6. No,
okay,
one more Zoom from 5 to 6 regarding Purushottam Reddy garu, father of our Honorable Minister Uttam Kumar Reddy garu, Nanagaru. So I carry company. So thank you, Chairman sir. Panarav sir, highly appreciable talk, as our Brahmat sir said. It is really, when I did my MURP, Master of Urban and Regional Planning in JNU Hyderabad, now JNU Peanuts, we used to go for the same village camp, sir. We attended Earth Session, and we attended, before that also in Usmania Engineering College, I was in charge for NCC and JRC also. For NSS program also, we used to go for these programs, sir, particularly how to youth involved in the this is near to nature. So thank you, sir. I think Professor Raj sir also waiting. Thanks, highly appreciate talk, sir. Once again, we have to go for this. Thank you, sir. Good day. Thanks very much, sir.
Sir, Brahmareddy garu, shall I?
Yeah, is over. Anybody else want to?
Yeah. Professor Radhakrishna.
Okay. Even I am in a hurry to go somewhere.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rana Naikar and
Radhakrishna
Radhakrishna garu,
Thank
and
seeing you
to all the great dignitaries
Yeah, I am a super senior citizen.
for giving me this opportunity to present myself and express my opinions. So thank you very much for the opportunity given.
Thank you, sir.
To ISN Raju garu also, and
Sir, sir.
Sitaram Babu garu, and to all the organizers. Thank you very much.
చాలా మంచి పునరావు గారు మంచి రీచ్
Now I request Dr. Sitaram Babu garu to kindly proceed further.
ఇప్పుడు జరిగిన బాగుంది.
Sir, thank you very much, Brahma Reddy garu. We should really thank Brahma Reddy garu for having taken this platform in the absence of G. Venkat Subbaya garu. He is in a remote location. His paternal uncle has passed away, so he has no signals there, so he could not able to come. We should thank Brahma Reddy garu for having.
I thank Brahma Reddy garu also to have organized this lecture
for presiding over the event, sir. And I also thank Mari Ramesh garu for having come and be part of this as a convener. I also thank Professor Dr. Ramna Nayak garu, past chairman, who is also part of it, and G. Rameshwar Rao garu, also past chairman. We have Aruna, the joint honorary secretary and the committee member. We also have Dr. Mohammad Mohiddin garu, is the committee member, and Radhakrishna garu, senior member and also the past committee member. We also thank Annaji Rao garu, Kunde garu, P. Srinivas Rao garu, Narayana garu, Narmada garu, Shivashankar garu, Pratap Babu garu, Madhu garu, and Vijay Shekhar garu, and Srivastava sir, for having come and made this event a grand success. For the World Habitat Day with the theme engaging youth to create a better urban future. The topic, a wonderful topic, and he has really delivered a wonderful lecture. Thanks to Kundal Rao garu. The earth belongs to all living beings as much as humans. Before we wind up, I appreciate all of you to stand for the national anthem. Thank you.
Right. General Mada.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे गावे कव शुभाशिष मांगे आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Jai Hind.